Hi guys, it's Lisa Martinez, and today's silhouette tutorial is where to purchase and get graphics and fonts for your silhouette designs. This is a question that we get asked a lot. I did go into using the silhouette store. It's a great place where you can purchase designs and fonts, and I can go over that again really quickly, but there's other options and choices in case you're not finding what you're looking for inside the silhouette store. There's other sometimes free graphics you can get, sometimes some free fonts if you don't feel like purchasing. So today we're just going to go a little bit deeper into that. This way you're fully aware and you have lots of options to pick different types of designs that you will need for your project. So a few of the things to look for when choosing a graphic other from outside the silhouette store is a PNG or an SVG. JPEGs they work if you're going to be creating signs and shirts, but if you're going to be cutting, JPEGs aren't really going to work because what you see is what you get. So sometimes it just depends on what project you're working on. So they can work. I don't really recommend them, but they can be used. So you don't want to rule that out. The second one is that I highly recommend is a PNG. Again, that's kind of what you see is what you get. You're not able to edit it, but it has a better resolution than a PNG. Again, if you're making signs or shirts, tumblers, sublimation tumblers, that's all going to work. But what you really want to focus and look for when getting a graphic is an SVG, and that means a scalable vector graphic, which means that when you download that graphic, that image in the SVG format, you are able to actually go in there and change whatever needs to be changed. You can change colors, you can remove things. So it's more editable, and also just like Cricut, when you're doing a cut file, that's the preferred file method when doing these cut files. So SVG is what we're really going to look for and shoot for, but you can also use the PNGs if you're not doing a cut file. For instance, if we were going to make stickers like we did last week, that would be a great option. So let me go ahead and share my screen and show you a couple of different options and what to look for. And then I can show you how to incorporate these in your projects. Okay, so the first place I like to go is Pixabay, which is pixabay.com. You can see that right over here. And this is completely free. You do have to create an account, which is fine, but everything here is free. They do not have fonts, so just be aware of that, but they have graphics and images that you can download for free and can use commercially. So one thing also to keep in mind is when you're Googling something, let's start here, and then we'll talk about Google. Sorry about that. So pixabay.com, you'll want to create an account, log into your account, and then you have options. You have photos, illustrations, and vectors. So depending on your project, if we're doing a cut file, we do want to look for vectors because that's going to give us that SVG file. So let's go ahead and let's look up Easter Bunny. We want to do an Easter Bunny. We want to do something for Easter. So you'll type in Easter Bunny. And if we hit enter, it's going to give us images. So let's go ahead and just hit enter and see what we get. So you can see you've got some graphics, some clip art, you've got some realistic images. These are all cute. But this is kind of what we're looking for, are these types of graphics. Again, these realistic ones would be really good if you were making a sign maybe. Again, depending on your project, this realistic images would be really good. But we are looking for more of these type of images. So what I would suggest you do to kind of filter out the images or the realistic ones is right here at the top on your drop down menu. You've got images, you've got photos, you've got vector graphics, and you've got illustrations. Again, if you're going to do a cut file, I would suggest looking up vector graphics, because 8 times out of 10, this is probably going to have some type of SVG file for it. So let's take something super simple to start off with. So let's just take this this black shadow of this Easter bunny, or let's just do this white one. So we'll go ahead and click on it. So this would make a great cut file. It's very simple, it's very clean, and you could use this for vinyl, for HTV, whatever you desire. And if you notice right here, it says free for commercial use, which is what we're looking for. So if you're going to be selling this project, you want to make sure that you do have the rights and licenses to sell this. So we are looking for commercial use. So again, this is it's free. So it's a really good option. I use this a lot. So you want to hit free download. And then, like I said, you've got a PNG, and then you've got this vector graphic. So this is going to work. This looks like it is an Adobe Illustrator. So this AI means Adobe Illustrator, excuse me, graphics. So this is probably going to, if you don't have Adobe Illustrator, I don't know if it's going to work, but the PNG file you'll be able to download. But what I'm looking for is something that says SVG. So let's just click. Let's click on this silhouette here of this bunny, and this is exactly what we're looking for. So again, another clean cut file, very simple. It's just the silhouette of a rabbit. So again, we could do a PNG, which means it's going to be black, or we can do this vector graphic is what we want to download. And this is the file for 2 things. Number one, if for whatever reason we wanted to put a background to it, say like a plaid or polka dots, we would be able to do that with this SVG file. Or if we were going to cut it, use it as a cut file, this would be ready to go as a cut file. And because this is so simple, this wouldn't be a bad cut file. So what you would just do is you would hit download, and you would download the file. So this is a good one. So that's what we're looking for, is the SVG file. So there was this other option right here, and which was illustrations. So you can look under that as well. Again, depending on what you are looking for. Let's see. So see, something a little bit complex like this, more than likely is not going to have an SVG file. Just remember, this one actually does, so I was wrong on that. But because look, all these little components, if you were going to do it as a cut file, that's a lot of components to cut out. But if you're going to be doing this as a sign or a shirt, SVG is going to be great, because you could always come in here and you could change the look of the flower. You could change the looks of the eggs, the colors of the eggs. You could change the shades of the grass. So this would be the perfect SVG file for a sign, just so we could make those changes. As a cut file, that's a lot of components to cut out. So again, what we're looking for is this SVG because one, it's editable. Number two, it's going to be a cut file. So for instance, if you don't want to do any of that, you just like the way this graphic is done by the way the graphic looks on its own, you could certainly just download the PNG file. So another thing to keep in mind, I don't like to do the small one because I want to get the best resolution. So, I mean, not that this is a bad resolution. This is just going to come out enormous. It's just going to come out too big. So I try to keep it down. Try to pick the one kind of in the middle, and then I can scale it up and down. So, so again, the PNG is, we won't be able to change it. It's going to be what you see is what you get, and that is how the file will download, and you'll be able to use that. So again, you've got a couple of different options, and then you can just, continue to scroll and look to see what you're looking for. Again, everything here is completely free. Let's go back. And again, right here, free for commercial use. So most of the time, everything on Pixabay you are able to use for commercial use, which means we can use it, make a project, make a sign, make a shirt, and then resell it and it'll be okay. So again, Pixabay is a great resource to find images and graphics. They do not have fonts though. So the next thing is, we are all tempted when we're looking for something, we are all tempted to go directly to Google, directly to Yahoo to find images. And I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just be cautious, because the last thing you want to do is steal somebody's graphic without giving them credit, or using a graphic that is not used for commercial. So just be cautious about that. Again, right here, we could totally do, I normally like to do free, type in the word free. And then I would say, again, let's just stick with the Easter Bunny. And then I'm actually going to type in SVG because that is the file type I am looking for. And then again, you can just go here to your images and see what comes up. Again, just be very cautious when doing a Google search for graphics. Again, we don't want to use graphics that aren't made for commercial, and the proper people aren't getting credit for that. So that's all we're going to say about that. So the next place that I like to go and get graphics from is Design Bundles. I know we have all heard of Design Bundles, and it's a free, you can sign up for free. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You can sign up for free, and they also have fonts too that you can download. So I'm just going to sign into my account. And they do have different memberships. They have a Plus membership, which is paid for. I don't have that. I just have a free account. And so I'm not really quite sure what this Plus membership is for. But it's a premier. I think if you pay monthly, I think some of the graphics aren't as expensive. Then again, I'm not quite sure. So again, we can go to graphics, and then I always select. I just picked illustrations, depending on what I'm looking for. And then say we were looking for flowers. So this file has lots of different components and elements. It's telling you there's 59 elements, and you can get this for $4. And you get the Premier license, which means that you do have the capability of using it for commercial use. Now, if it says personal use, please just be cautious. If you're going to get something that says personal use, be very cautious about using that to making signs and stuff, because for personal use, that's just saying I'm making it for myself. I'm not going out and selling it, but I'm going to use it to make myself something. So this one has different components, and if you scroll down, it tells you exactly what all this has. And from the looks of it, these are all PNGs. So actually, if I was to be purchasing something like this, I would be perfectly fine with the PNGs, because I would be pretty happy with everything. So far, I like all the different elements. It looks like she's got these little flowers individually. So if we just kind of scroll to the left, you can kind of see everything she's got, all the different components. So it looks like this one, it's got 3 types of wreaths. It's got some pretty seamless borders. Those are really pretty. See, I wouldn't want to change any of this. This is all really pretty. This one looks like there's some card templates. Maybe if you were making an invitation, that would be wonderful. Seamless patterns. So this is going to be great for your tumblers. This is also going to be great for sign backgrounds. That's what that would be great for. And then all these little elements, again, see those little cute flowers, like the little berries. Very, kind of looks very winterish. But then that looks kind of springish. That's really pretty. So this is this is another site that I use often. And the other nice thing they have is they have free designs. I always check out the free designs, because you just never know what you're going to find. And if you look on this left-hand side, it's got free SVGs, clip art. If you use Procreate, there's a Procreate brushes. You've got the vector files, which are the SVGs. So when you're looking for these files, if you see vectors, that's going to be SVG. SVG files, remember, because SVG means scalable vector graphics. So vectors, SVG go hand in hand. You got free backgrounds and illustrations. Let's just check out the vectors and see what we find. Like these little foxes. Even though it's not autumn, it says autumn. Again, these are all PNG files. And it looks like there's some so it looks like there are some the vector files right here. This AI file is the vector file, and it tells you right there. So if you don't have Adobe Illustrator, just be cautious. You could still purchase this file and you would receive all the PNGs. You just wouldn't be able to make changes to them. Let's look at one more. Let's look at something different. Let's look at SVGs. Let's see what we find. This one has a lot more. Let's see. Let's look at this animal paw prints. Again, this is a free download. And right here it has SVG, which is nice because again, remember that's editable and we can cut from it. So perfect. This one is a really nice choice. They've given you different options that you will be getting when you download this. Not bad for free. Super cute. And then you would just hit download for free and it'll download to your computer and where you want it saved. So let's just go back. And the same thing for fonts. So the nice thing about working in Silhouette is if you download a font into your computer, it will download into Silhouette. So keep that in mind. Again, you can oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Purchase fonts, it tells you right here how much they are, $12. I actually have this one, Hello Honey. I love that one. It's one of my favorites. And I will tell you this, what I have noticed is sometimes I've seen them here and I've seen them on the Silhouette store because I think I bought Hello Honey from the Silhouette store. So I would kind of check the Silhouette store because sometimes it might be a little bit cheaper there. But I can't, I mean, the one thing is I don't know all the fonts offhand. So that would just be one of those hit or miss types of things. But, you know, sometimes when you're scrolling through the Silhouette store, you see things that you like, you favorite them, and then and then you'll remember them. So super pretty. I have this Hey Magnolia, another one that I love. Again, this one also, you can do free fonts. And then you could download from there. Let's just take one. Let's see. Let's just try one of these. Let's look up Dream of Spring. The nice thing about this is they tell you what it is, and then they show you how they've used it, just to give you some ideas. And then it gives you a brief description of what it is. I like the name Dream of Spring. And then if there's any glimpse, if you don't know, if you're not familiar with glimpse on fonts, those are extra characters that come with the font. So so you'll get all 26 letters, upper and lowercase, you'll get all the numerals and special characters, your exclamations, your percents, your dollar signs, you'll get all that. But sometimes they have extras. So see, here's your uppercase, your lowercase, all your punctuation. And then you'll get these extras. So if you noticed, sometimes people have names with the little accents on top, or they might have, you know, this one has a little dot. Again, people's names, wording, the French word oui for yes, it's I believe has a little dot, don't quote me on that, but they have accents on them. And let's see, sometimes they will even have, let's see, not just the accents, but they'll have sometimes they'll have like 3 different ways to do a letter. Like they might have an M with an extra squiggle or a longer squiggle. See, like this, let's look at this feather. That's pretty actually. So here are our regular characters, our upper, our lowercase. Here are our numerals, I can't say it, our punctuation, our symbols. And then again, here we are with the accents on the letters. And let's see. Trying to see. Here we go. So this is what I was talking about. So if you look at this lowercase f, see, it's got the extra little thing, the extra little pizzazz in the front. This P, actually all of these letters have that extra loop. This P, see how it's got this long tail? And then they've got it going the opposite direction. So this is great. Then you get these little hearts. That's cute. So see, you could start a word with one of these basic letters, and then you could throw in one of these extra special characters at the end, or vice versa. You could start with it to give it a little extra pizzazz. So that's what a glimp is. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Those are just little extra touches that you get with a font. Okay, so that is design bundles. Again, we've all heard of design bundles. Again, it's a free account to set up. The only thing you're paying for is if you do decide to get a membership, or if you decide to get purchase a file, if it's not a free file. Again, I always look for the free stuff first. You never know what you could find in the free, but design bundles is another great resources. It's really easy. Sometimes they got sales, so definitely sign up for that. Look how cute these little sunflowers. Gnomes are super popular, still super popular. This one's $21, but you get a bunch of different gnomes. So another great resource right here, design bundles. So we've gone over Pixabay, we've gone over design bundles. Let's go over to the infamous Etsy. We all have Etsy, we all know Etsy, we all love Etsy. Most of us probably even have Etsy stores. But as most of you know, I also purchase designs from Etsy. So let's just say I was looking for a watercolor bunny. I'm really into the watercolors right now. We'll stick with bunnies because I think that's what I started with. Oops, watercolor Easter. Oh gosh, how cute is this? So again, same thing, just look, scroll. Most of these are probably going to be a PNG file. Sometimes, depending on the designer, they will throw in the JPEGs and the SVG files. So this one, oh my gosh, is adorable. And right here, it'll tell you it's a digital download. You get 4 zip files. So we're getting on this, for instance, we're getting 10 PNGs with transparent backgrounds. Yes, please, please, please make sure you're getting transparent backgrounds. The last thing you want to do is purchase a file and it has a white background, especially if it's a PNG, because remember, what you see is what you get. You want a transparent background. So what's going to happen is if you get this bunny and it's got a white background and you put it on top of a sign that has, you've got this pretty pink plaid background, and you put this cute little bunny and it doesn't have a transparent background but it has a white background, that white background is going to transfer onto the sign. What I mean is that bunny, so you're going to have your sign and it's going to have the plaid, and when you put that bunny on there, when you go to press it or print it, it's going that your plaid is no longer going to be plaid. So wherever that bunny is and you've got that white background, it's going to have that white block background behind it, or whatever shape the background is. So if you get transparent, all you get is the bunny and there's nothing else. So please make sure you're getting a transparent background. That's really important. So back to Etsy. Back to Etsy. Again, if you're not familiar, but like I said, we're all familiar with Etsy. You can always favorite this and you can come back to it. Because you can just keep scrolling. For instance, say we like this bunny and we just go to this person's store. Again, we all know how to do this. You can look at her store and you can favorite her store as well. And to favorite it, right here, you would just click on this left-hand corner and favorite. Okay, the one thing we are going to go over, and I'm briefly going to touch it, is Disney. Let's just do Prince. We all see this. Disney, all Disney luxury brands, Star Wars, Hocus Pocus, all of this it's here. Just be cautious. It is copyrighted, it is trademark. I just caution you when purchasing those files, especially if you're going to make a sign and sell it elsewhere. Just be cautious. Again, it's copyrighted. All that is copyrighted. Now, if you were going to use it for yourself, again, just be cautious. It's copyrighted. I don't want to see anybody getting in trouble for posting or purchasing something, making something, and then trying to sell it. So just be cautious, be very cautious. It's all trademark, luxury brands, Nike, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, anything Disney, we all know, Star Wars, Pixar, all that is copyrighted. I know it's all over Etsy. I know some people might think it's okay. It's copyrighted. So just be very, very cautious. I highly advise not to purchase anything copyrighted, trademark, to buy, to make a shirt, to make a tumbler, a sign, and then resell it. Just because they don't get in trouble, I don't want you to get in trouble. So highly recommend to avoid that at all cost. So, because I know that gets asked. So again, highly recommend just look the other way and find something else. Okay, enough about that. And then my last new favorite place to get graphics and fonts. Etsy is a great place. Don't get me wrong, Etsy is a great place to buy graphics. I buy lots of graphics. Again, just avoid these types of graphics. These are all my favorite. Super cute. Super cute. Oh my gosh, look at this one. This one's super cute. Okay, moving on. I get stuck here. Creative. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Okay, Creative Fabricas. Let's go back. Okay, Creative Fabrica is another, this one you do have to have an account for. This is a monthly subscription. I believe it's 30 bucks a month. But it has so many different graphics, so many different fonts. So you pay for this, you pay for a monthly subscription and then you're able to download it. There are some that might, depending on the designer, the store that you purchase, sometimes they do, sometimes you do have to pay for some. So example, like this one, that they're charging you $1 for this one. So, but most of the time, this one is a big bundle. This one's got 50 fonts for $3. I mean, that's still a good deal. But like for instance, this one's got 250 fonts for free. So that is included in your subscription. But I mean, again, you can just look up graphics. Like look, we can just search something. I just saw something super cute. Let's look up coffee. So right here, we've got, the nice thing about this is you can actually search what you're looking for. Are we looking for graphics? Are we looking for bundles? Or are we looking for fonts? And then we can even go down as far as, are we looking for print templates, illustrations, icons, logos? So there's just so many different categories we can filter down to. Normally, I just go straight to graphics. And then I just start looking. I saw one at the beginning of the page, and that's why I was looking. Let's see. I saw a cute one at the front page. Let's see if we can find it. It was this coffee lovers right here was what I was looking at. So here we go. This one's 50% off. This is if you don't have the subscription. So if I didn't want to sign up, if I didn't want to pay for a membership, I could just flat out buy it for $5. So this one is, it tells you again, it's coffee lovers. You get all those images, super cute. And of course, and they are, and it right here, it tells you lifetime license for personal and commercial use. So again, super amazing. 9 times out of 10, most of these, actually, I have yet to come across one that was only for personal use. Everything I've gotten from here has been for commercial use. Butterflies, look at the sunflowers. You know me and my sunflowers. This one is $1 flower. This is pretty right here. I might have to get this one. You could download it and then we could drop it into our silhouette. So let's go ahead and again, and then the fonts are the same way. Tons of fonts. And you can filter it. Again, you can also filter this. Are we looking for black letters, decorative, script, display? Again, just tons and tons of fonts. See this one, regular $12. And again, this is if you don't have the subscription, you just want to purchase it outright. This is what the pricing is. There is a monthly subscription, and I will show you that. Let's see. Yeah, so for $29, you get all these fonts, you get graphics, commercial use, and this is the most popular one right here. Of course, then they have, of course, you can just get one for fonts, one for graphics, one for crafts. But I mean, at $29, I would highly recommend this $29. Highly recommend that one. Okay, so real quick, we'll just go ahead and review how to download a file and put it into Silhouette. Let's see. Trying to think of something I don't have. I want to get one. Oh, look, perfect, SVG. So let's download, oops, I want to download this SVG file. Open it. Trying to save it to my desktop. Let's see if it's saved to my desktop. Don't see it, that's why. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, so I've downloaded it onto my hard drive. Let's go ahead and get into Silhouette. We've got our new one. I've got my donut downloaded. And remember, we can drag and drop. So that's what I'm going to do. I can find it. Okay, or we can do file merge. We always want to do merge. Our donut. Because when we hit merge, it's going to go directly into this document, this project that we're working on. If we don't, if we go file open, let's just go ahead and do that. File open. It brings it into a new document. So depending on what you want to do, that's what happens. So of course, here is our donut. And let's just go ahead and pretend we were going to cut this. This is way too big, so let's just scale him down. I'm going to scale him down to about so because he is an SVG, because that's I selected this on purpose. He looks a little wonky. I want to go to object and we want to ungroup because right now it's all together. I want to ungroup. Okay, So the way you can tell it's ungrouped, can you see all these little boxes? That's how we know it's ungrouped. So if we click out of it and say we click on the brown and we move this icing, so there's one shade of brown. So say we didn't want a chocolate donut, say we wanted a strawberry donut. So let's find a pink. And say we wanted purple sprinkles. So let's just highlight all the blue sprinkles and change those to purple. And let's change the red ones. Let's change all the red ones to, let's change them to green. And say we didn't like that color, we wanted more, say we wanted a chocolate center, more brown. And that is there we go. So that is what an SVG, the purpose, the perks of getting the SVG is you're able to modify it. So we could actually, again, if we were done with this, we would want to highlight everything and we'd want to go object and group. This way, when we move it, we resize it, it's all one piece. And then we could send as a cut file and we could do our cut. So again, that's the purpose of an SVG versus a PNG, because remember PNGs, we cannot edit or customize it. That's the word I was looking for, customize it to our liking. So SVG has a, to me, I always try to pick that just in case I ever want to customize it, unless it's something that I absolutely love and I'm just not going to change it. Again, we get this question a lot. Where do we get graphics? Where do we get our images, our fonts? Simple way, just download them, save them to your computer someplace, your desktop, and then we can just drag them into our image. So I hope this was helpful. I know this was a lot of information, a lot of details. Again, just trying to help y'all out because a lot of times people ask where's a good place to find them. And I know graphics can get expensive. So again, Pixabay is a great place. It's free. Design Bundles has free graphics, and sometimes they've got really inexpensive ones. So those are great choices. Again, Creative Fabric has been my favorite so far. I love them all, so it's hard to pick. So depending on what I'm looking for, I just go to all three of them. Sometimes I find something on one and not the other. So again, thank you. Again, any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here more than happy to help. Message me in the group and we will help you out, help you find what you're looking for. Hope this helps. Till next time. Bye, guys.